Hi everyone, you're welcome to my channel. Join me and let's make this beautiful dress. To the returning subscribers, thank you very much. If it is your first time, I really appreciate you. So I want to draft this on a paper first. It's going to help me to be fast and to correct any mistake. So the first thing to do is I'm going to draw my starting point line of half of an inch, which is this. So from here, I will start taking my measurement. And the first thing is the armhole circumference. You go ahead and measure yours, divided by 2. That is what I marked there. The next is shoulder to bust, shoulder to waist, and shoulder to hip. You take your own measurement and use, okay? And I will draw it out. Next, you take the shoulder to shoulder divided by 2. It's on a half, and that is what I'll mark here. I'll also mark it on this line. This line is the chest line. That's the armhole. So, and I will draw it out into a straight line. Then the basic neck, I will mark 3 inches. That is the neck width. So I'm coming down here by 1 inch. You know our shoulder is slant. So I came down by 1 inch and I connected it to the neck. Then the circumference, the bust circumference divided by 4, I mark it, and I'll mark the same thing on the chest line. The waist circumference divided by 4, I'll mark it, and I'll go ahead and add the dart intake immediately. I'll add 1.5, just keep it. Then the hip circumference divided by 4, that's what I'll mark also. After that, we'll move over to the dart. So the nipple to nipple is 8 inches divided by 2 is 4 inches, and I'm marking it on the bust, on the waist, and so I'm marking 4 inches. Then from the bust, I came down by 1 inch, and on the waist, I'm going to go out 0.75 on each side. So in total, it is 1.5. You see why I replaced it already at the side. So I'll draw a straight line on it, just the normal way you take your dart, and we connect just this way. 0.75, that's what I took here, and I've replaced it already in total 1.5. After that, for the front armhole, you measure what you have here, find the midpoint, just follow what I'm doing, and on that midpoint you go in by 0.5, that is half inch, and you connect as so. You take it back to the bust or to the chest here. So this is your front armhole. Then for the back armhole, it is straight, just this way, just straight, okay? So this is your back armhole, while this, just as I'm showing you, is your front armhole. For the basque shape, I'm coming down from the waist by 5.5 inches, and I'll mark it there. Why? From the center, I came down by 3 inches, and I'll mark it. Then with my curve ruler, I'm going to create a curve there, just as you see me do. So you go ahead and do yours. Right? And after that, I'm going to slash this. I don't want the down part to have the dart. I just want the upper part to have the dart. So I'm going to slash it. This is it. All right. So, but already this down part has that dart of 1.5, and I'm going to mark it out and connect it back and cut that part off. I don't want that part to have the dart. So that's what I'm just doing. Then I'll go ahead and cut everything. Notice here, I'm cutting for the back armhole first, all right? Cut off the shoulder, the neck. You know the neck is 3 inches for now. It is 3 inches. I'm writing it out. So I've placed it on my fabric. My fabric is on fold. That's what I'm showing you. That is the center fold. And I added half an inch this side, 1.5 on the side, 1.5 inches for the side allowance. For the armhole, you remember what we cut on the paper first is the back, but on this fabric I follow the shape of the front armhole, and I added half of an inch sewing allowance, and that is what I cut there. So on the neckline, half of an inch, on the shoulder, half of an inch. Then the actual neck width I want to use is 5 inches. That is what I marked also, and I'm going to notch it to transfer to the other side. Please take note of this. I marked it 5 inches, all right? So this down part is on fold also, and I've added my allowances, half inch all the side, but on the side 1.5, and I'm going ahead to notch the strategic point, the centers. Please go ahead and notch yours. Then I'm also cutting for this dart. I'm transferring it already to the fabric so that it will be easy while sewing. And on this apex, I'm going to transfer it to the fabric. Just follow what I'm doing. I'll transfer to the other side too. All right. To cut the back, I put the paper back again and I'm taping it down. Okay. Just as you see me do, I'm just taping it down. And the back will not have that. It's not going to have this 1.5 dart at all. So I'm going to reshape this part, connect it back to the bust, just as you see me do, and I'm going to cut it off. So this is basically all for the back. Basically all for the back. But you know that the back has zipper allowance, right? So I'll place it on my paper. My paper is on fold. I'm just holding it down with my paper. So this is on fold, as you can see. And from the center, I'll come out with half of 1.5 inches for this zipper allowance, 1.5. So that's what I'm measuring, and I'm going to mark it out as you see me do, and I will cut it off. All right. So here I've already given half of an inch allowance on the down part, as you see. Okay. So, like I said, this will be all, but I want to take care of the zipper bulge on the back. Okay. So for that reason, I want to take out 0.75 from the waist back, back waist. So 0.75, that's what I'll mark there on the zipper line, 0.75. Because we are taking this out, we have to replace it to the side so that this will not be shortened by 0.75. So that's what I'm marking there again, replacing it 0.75. So I'm going to connect this downwards and upwards just as you see. And I've connected this one too. Okay, now let's redraw our side allowance, and I'm marking 1.5 inches as you see, 1.5, and I'm connecting it up and downwards again. So that will be my new side allowance for the back. Then for the zipper, I'm also going in with 0.75 and I'm connecting it up, back, up and down. So this will now be my new zipper allowance, and I'll trim this part off entirely. Then you add your armhole allowance, your shoulder allowance, your neck allowance of 0.5 and cut everything out, okay? So for the down part, I'm going to take the measurement of what I have here. Please make use of your own measurement. In my case, it is 14.75. And you know that the front is on fold, the back is also on fold. That is 4. So I'm going to multiply this by 4 and I have 59 inches total. Set this aside, okay? So to know the length of the down part, the length, in my case, the shoulder to waist is 17.5 and I came down here with 5.5. When you add the both together, I have 23 inches. But the full length of my client is 60 inches. So when you take out 23 inches from 60 inches, I have 37 inches for the length of the down part. Then plus the hemming allowance and the joining allowance. So you go ahead and calculate yours, okay? Then for the width, remember mine is 59 inches. So depending on the fullness you want to achieve, you can double yours, you can even triple yours. But in my case, I multiplied mine with 2.5 inches. That is double and half. So that's what I measured and I cut. For the monostrap or one shoulder off, this is the back. So I'm going to pin this zipper allowance as though I have sewn it, and I'll open it up. You just follow what I'm doing, okay? I'll open it up this way and I'll place the front on it, okay? And you determine the side you want the monostrap to fall. I want mine to be on the right side, and that is my right, okay? So that will be my right. I remember that 5 inches neck width that I marked and I told you to take note of. That is what I just marked again. And taking out the half-inch sewing allowance there, I came down with 4.5 inches and I marked. So that will be my monostrap. And I'll connect it this way, just as you see me do. After that, I'll also mark the half an inch sewing allowance and I'll cut it off. So to avoid gaping that usually occur with off shoulders, I'll come in here with 1 inch if necessary, please. I'll come in here with 1 inch, mark it, and I'll cut it out. All right. So for the sleeve, just follow what I'm measuring. I have a tutorial on how to draft your sleeve. I'll link it up for you to follow. I have a total armhole here of 19 inches and half of it is 9.5. So I'll get a fabric, fold it, and I'll mark my starting point line of half of an inch. So I'll make sure that I have up to half of that armhole. That's what I'm just checking here. So I have it, and I also have extra because this sleeve is going to be gathered. I have extra 6 inches. So from this part, this is the folded part, I'll mark the 6 inches that I will gather, mark it down, and then I will draw it into a straight line. So I'm marking a sleeve cap of 4 inches, but if you don't know how to calculate this, you use the formula on the screen and do so. And I'll just draw a curve randomly, spanning to that point. Okay. So it's just a random one. Then I'm measuring the sleeve length of 14 inches. That is sleeve to elbow, shoulder to elbow. Then I added 1 inch hemming allowance. So I'm trimming this part off, but cutting the curve, I eyeballed and I'm giving half of an inch joining allowance. You can measure yours, but I'm eyeballing mine. So that will be all. Go ahead and on that point, this one is totally optional. I'm just trying to give it the shape of a sleeve. You get, you can just leave it. No measurement, nothing, nothing. All right. And that will be all. Then I will notch the strategic point, this point of gathering, the center point, this part to the center. So that'll be all for this. Then for the other sleeve, the monostrap one, I've already folded it, and I just want to show you how much it is lesser with. So it is in total 3.5 inches. So I'll place it under this one. Please follow carefully what I'm doing, and I'll trim it into the shape too. Okay, and you know this will have elastic, so I'll measure 1 inch for the elastic, and that is what I'm marking. So because I'm in Nigeria, they just interrupted my light. Boom! A few hours later, they restored it and I had to continue my filming. So for this is the main dress with the armhole of that monostrap side. I'm going to place it on the armhole of this sleeve to cut the shape, to cut that shape. So you follow what I'm doing, okay? Place it properly. You can notice I placed after that 1 inch elastic allowance. So I'm going to cut it into shape. All right. So this is it. This is the sleeve. And let's start sewing. This is the main dress itself. Let's go ahead and sew the dart. You know how to take in your dart. So I'll go ahead and take in my dart on this side, on the other side too. After that, I will assume I've taken in the dart. I'll place the lower side on it, right side facing right side, and I'll go ahead and sew with half of an inch. So this is it after sewing. And the next thing is to tape the neckline. But before that, let me attach the zip. If you don't know how to attach the zipper, I have a tutorial on that. I just marked out half of an inch. You know, that's sewing allowance. And look at how I placed my zipper. So I'll just go ahead and attach my zipper. Please, I have a tutorial. I'll link, click on the top right. It will take you to how to attach your zipper. All right. Thank you. So I assumed I've attached the zipper here. So let me just show you, just in case you don't know. I have a strip of fabric here that will act as the bias. So let me zip this open. So the width of the bias is 1 inch. So I'll fold it this side, place it on that half of an inch allowance, sewing allowance, just as you see me do, and I'll go ahead and sew, keep matching it, and I will just sew with half of an inch. When I'm done, I'm going to fold it towards the other side to fold the raw edge and take it behind and sew also. So this is the one I've done for the front. You can see I've taped it already. And here I just wanted to show it to you clearly in case you don't know how to do that. I'll fold it back again and I'll sew. If you got that right, this is what it will look like. Okay, that is it here. And I'm gonna head to attach my zipper too. Please click on the top right to take you to the link on how to attach zipper. So the next thing is to attach it on the shoulder. So you sew it there with 1/2 inch. Then the sides, I placed it right side to right side, matching it out properly, right side to right side. Okay, and I'll sew the side. Remember, we have a sewing allowance of 1.5 inches. Okay, but after matching this, I noticed that the front extended a little bit, so I'm going to trim it into shape. That's why it's very important to draft on paper. You can place it back and you just trim everything. So I'm going to trim mine, this excess, I'll trim it out and then I'll proceed to join it on the side. It's as simple as that. Ain't you enjoying this tutorial? Please, at this moment, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe and share. So I'm done sewing mine, and the next thing is to sew our sleeve. So this is the sleeve here. You remember the 6 inches gathering allowance we kept. So from here to here, remember we notched it. I'm going to run a loose stitch on it, gather stitch, or use a needle and thread and gather it. So I'm going to gather it already. That's what I'm doing, and I will sew just to hold it. Also for the sleeve hem that we have a tie, we are going to gather it into the elbow circumference. So my elbow circumference is 13 inches. So just like I'll gather this one. I've done it here, leaving the side allowances of 1.5 inches. So in between is 13 inches total. I'll fold it this way and I'll sew the allowance. But I will leave a little space just as I'm showing you, and I'll sew the rest. I'll do the same thing for the other side too. So this is it after I was done with that, and this is the space that I left because of the tie that this will have. So I'll go ahead and just trim that part a little, trim it down. We don't want to have a bulk of fabric there. Okay, so after doing that, we're going to fold this just as you see me do. Just follow what I'm doing. Fold it, and we're going to sew it up. Then take it to the other side too. You fold that one too, and then you sew down. The reason we are doing this is to create space in between the tie. You understand? To create space in between it. And after that, this is what it will look like. Now, if we attach the tie, it will relax properly, even when you tie it. So we have a long strip of fabric here. It is measuring 40 inches, and the width is measuring 3.5 inches. That will be the tie. So you just get the midpoint, around the midpoint. But first of all, we open up this to the right side. Okay, then the tie, you get around the midpoint. We will place it there and then take one side up. Just follow what I'm doing. It's going to be right side facing right side. Open it up. We'll sew one part first. So you start sewing from there, taking it down to the other side. So when you are done sewing this, it will look like this. Okay, now let's create our tie or belt already. You fold it up back again, and you're going to sew up, then towards this way. You do the same thing for the other side, and even do the same thing for the other sleeve too. So when we are done with that, this is what it would look like. Then with my pencil, I'm going to turn it inside out, just like this. You're going to do the same thing for the other side and for the other sleeve. I don't know if I'm making sense. Please give this video a thumbs up, like, share, okay? So to cover up, you're going to fold up this part, the 1/2 inch remaining, to cover the, make sure it's covering the previous seam that we have there. You cover it up and pin from the front side. So this is what I have. Let me show you with the other sleeve. This is what I had. Okay, I pinned it from the front side, and I'll turn it to the front side, and I'll sew stitch in the ditch in the previous seam that I have there. Sew into that place, sew it down. Okay, so after that, we move over to create the casing, the elastic casing for the monostrap. So this is it here. Remember we gave 1 inch. I'm going to fold like this, fold again, and that is how I'll sew to create the channel, the elastic channel. All right, and so you can see I'm done sewing this already. That's what I'm showing you. Like I said, sew from the front. Okay, and that is the hem with the tie. So I'm just showing you. You can see it is tied with no hitch, and this is the elastic casing. So I cut out an elastic. It's a random one. So I took my measurement, which is 8 inches, but my client is kind of on a high side, so I used 9 inches. That's the length that I cut. So I'm going to use my safety pin and pass it into the casing. Use my pin to secure, and I'll sew it down there. So it's just normal. I'll sew it down to hold it in place, and I'll get my main dress, the side with the monostrap, one shoulder off, and I'll align it with the sleeve there, just as you see me do, and I'll sew it 1/2 inch. All right, just sew it 1/2 inch. That's what I'm showing you. And after that, you go ahead and attach the other sleeve. It's not a beginner's tutorial, so it's not something I should start doing here. I assume you've already known this, so I'll just attach it. And this is what I have already. Our dress is 75% out, or even 90% done. All right, back to the hemline. Like I told you earlier, if you've cut out your fabric, depending on the fullness you want to achieve, maybe twice, 3 times, 4 times, okay, so you're going to hold the two sides together, and you're going to join it there, just as I am showing you. When you're done with that, you go ahead and hem the dress. So this is my hem. I've hemmed mine already, so this is it. You fold it 1, 2, and then you sew round. Just take your time and sew it. When you're done with that, let's join it to the upper side. So this is the down part of the upper side, and this is the back. So the part that I joined, I'm going to pin it down there. All right, and now go ahead to gather. So preferably you spread your own out evenly. I mean the down part, because it's bulky now, right? Spread it out evenly before you gather. If you don't know how to do that, please click the link at the top right now. It will take you to a very detailed tutorial where I gathered a dress. Please bear with me. This tutorial is already very long, and it takes time to upload on YouTube. That's why I'm kind of rushing. Please. So see you in my next one. Thank you very much, and go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. I'll be expecting your questions at the comment section. Trust me, I will answer you. Bye.